Hello, everyone. How you doing? Happy December. Here we are, end of the year, feeling really good. I'm here every week. I want to invite you back to definitely catch me here on Facebook, YouTube, definitely Twitch, Twitter, and also please subscribe to the YouTube channel, MJS Photography. You'll catch me here all the time. Come back and see them anytime you want as well. A lot of great things happen being based in Japan, based in Tokyo, like I am. And today I want to talk about, well, falling in love, because this is a magical city and some amazing things happen here. I want to share a story that happened this year that's really quite special. So, I've been now living here in Tokyo for 7 years, get to know the city very well. And even though I go back and forth between the States and Japan, Tokyo is home. But recently I had a show here, and I want to talk about that for a second. I had an opening to a show back in March of this year. And it was a show connected to a book that I have coming out next year. It'll come out actually in January. This new book comes out on Aretha Franklin. So I had this show at the Blue Note, which is a great spot, actually Blue Note Place here in Japan, here in Tokyo. Wonderful spot, definitely a place you should go and hear great music, great artists perform. And they gave me an exhibit. So I had a great time showing my work of Aretha Franklin and getting my friends there to come to the exhibit. So here's this space. I had the images all throughout the space of Aretha Franklin, some pictures that will be in the actual book, and just a great time to celebrate Aretha, as March is her birthday month. So in March of this year, I had the show up in order just to celebrate her at a great spot. Invited all my friends, and it was wonderful. We all hung out, had great food, were just hanging out, enjoying the day. This is back in March of this year. And when my friends came in on the day of day after I had the opening, and this is the second day of the opening, and we're all sitting there having lunch. And I've got a bunch of friends there. This is my friend Derek on the left, my friend Yuko on the other side, and we're just having a great time, just really relaxing and enjoying our time there. And my friend Chaz is there from LA. He just came off the plane, and we're all having lunch. And I'm seeing all my friends connecting there, having a good time. These guys, some of them are meeting for the first time ever. But we're having a great time talking about Aretha and her music and all of this. And then my good friend Chaz orders lunch. And he decides, he sees something on the menu. He's like, I'm going to order this. And it comes. And then my friend Yuko says, you know what? I'm going to order lunch too. And she orders as well. And when Chaz's meal comes, it's this little small delicate plate. So I'm picking at him because I'm like, this is what you ordered. He's laughing. He's like, this is what I got. This is not what I want. This is not going to fill me up. But, on the other side, Yuko has ordered a nice big hearty meal, a big steak, and it arrives. So I'm laughing at them. I'm like, you know what? Her meal is like the meal you should have. He says, actually it is. Would you trade with me? And goes to reach for her meal. And she says, okay, yeah, I'll trade with you. I'm like, wait a minute, Chaz, don't take her food. Don't take her meal. But she says, it's okay. And I'm like a little perplexed, and I'm watching them, and I'm taking pictures the entire time as it happens. So he takes her meal. He's like, okay, this is a hearty meal. He's eating it. She's looking at him, enjoying this meal. She eats his meal. And I see a little chemistry there as they meet for the very first time. But I'm like, okay, they just met. Everybody's meeting, everybody's friendly, whatever. We all had dinner. And then I see them talking at the end when we're all about to leave. I just take note of it. And before I know it, things change. And months later, they're dating. And last week, guess what? They got married here in Tokyo. So to see it go from that first meeting and capturing that first meeting, And this is why you should always have your camera on you to get all these amazing moments. Seeing that, watching it happen, me and all my friends, and documenting it, and led to now they are husband and wife. They got married here in Japan at Miji Shrine, a beautiful shrine here in the midst of Tokyo. Went to their wedding, had a great time being a guest there, seeing it all. And yeah, of course, I brought my camera. That's what I do all the time, just taking snapshots for myself of the day. Of course, they had official wedding photographers there to capture the moments for them officially. But I'm always going to take pictures, and these are my friends. They met at my event with my other friend who invited them to be there as well. Had a great time just being there and watching it all. And because they got married in Japan, instead of having cake at the wedding like you would have a cake at most weddings around the world, they had tuna to serve fresh tuna. Bought a full tuna and served everybody fresh sushi after the wedding. It was fantastic. We had a great time. And of course, instead of having cake as the first bite, they had sushi, the first fresh cuts of sushi right from the fish right there in the moment as their first meal as husband and wife. Kind of cool to see, be there and capture it all. And this is why it's so important for us as photographers to always have our camera around and document life. In many ways, I see myself as the timekeeper. I stop time. And that's special. When you are taking pictures for yourself, you're also documenting your life and your history. And even though it's their story, they got married, it is still my story as well. And I've been telling this story for a long time. Maybe you have questions. So if you do, this is the time to ask your questions right now. I want to hear from you what you're thinking. Maybe if you go to your next, photo exhibit, maybe you'll fall in love, and if you're single, and meet the right person. You never know what happens when you go get out and experience life and enjoy life. I love seeing you guys. Hey, Denise, hi, saying nice. How nice? Yes, indeed. Get out there and meet Mr. Right, Mrs. Right by just going to a photo exhibit. Life happens when you get out and about. And that's why I think as photographers, it's really important for us to get off of our computers all the time. I know we've got to edit and all that stuff, but it's good to get out and enjoy life, because when you do, you never know who you're going to meet, where you're going to go. I've always said that the best three things in life are, or the things that really change or enhance your life, are the places you go, like my exhibit, the people you meet, like Chaz and Yuko connecting right there at the exhibit, and the books you read. Those three things really enhance your life. I've got a new book coming out in January on Aretha Franklin. The places you go, the people you meet, the books you read. These things definitely change your life, enhance your life for the better. But it's the holidays, and it's time to go into how to shoot holiday lights. So I want to get into that right now. So let's go in and talk about this week's lesson for all the photographers who want to learn how to shoot holiday lights in a different way. Let's dive into that. I'm photographer Matthew Jordan Smith. For those who don't know, I've been a photographer now for over 30 years, and I absolutely love this industry. I'm going to share something every week for you to help you become a better photographer, or just think differently about photography. Sipping my green tea here. Now let's talk about capturing holiday lights, the magic of capturing holiday lights. How do you do it? And how do you make your pictures different than the average person with a smartphone out there? How do you do that? So in Japan, there are lights everywhere for the holidays. There's the Christmas music is everywhere. Lights are everywhere. And it's really beautiful to take all of that in this time of year. You feel like it's the holidays. Now, on Christmas Day, it's all done and over, but leading up to the holidays, it's beautiful and wonderful. So I even saw this guy on a bike, his bike with all the Christmas lights around his bike the other day. And like, oh wow, I feel like I'd see that scene in New York City or somewhere in America, not in Tokyo, but the guy walks by, he drives by, he's got his bike decorated with lights and all that. And it was kind of cool to see that. This is what you normally see when you are photographing lights. And we see this on a lot of people's pages this time of year. But today, I want to give you some information to go deeper into shooting holiday lights. It's a great time to get out and see the beauty all over wherever you are in the world of the holiday season and capture the beauty of Christmas lights, holiday lights, as they're glowing all over the world right now. This is a Christmas market here in Tokyo. There are tons of different holiday scenes all over, but this one, which takes place in just in Yoyogi Park, just outside Shibuya, this is a brand new one. This one just started this year. This is my first time going and seeing the holiday lights in Tokyo at this location. And they had different booths all over, even like this little material in the beginning just to cover it up and give you this feeling holiday. They chose blue as the color that they want to use in this one location, but you see it change everywhere all over Tokyo as you're going around and seeing different lights and different scenes everywhere to celebrate this season. Beautiful to see. Now, this is the main walkway that you walk through in Yoyogi with Christmas lights and Christmas tree ornament as well. And I like focusing on the lights for sure. The people are darker because they're more at the background. The main subject in these pictures are the lights. And today you can get the scene with a smartphone, but I want to go beyond what you can get with a smartphone. So I'll go and I'll shoot, of course, what you're seeing with your naked eye, the actual scene, but then I want to go a little deeper and do it a little differently. So I'll do something that you normally wouldn't do. I'll take my camera and turn off all of the autofocus features and just go to shoot on manual. And I can change my focus and take it out of focus, because sometimes when you're seeing the lights as they are, it looks one way. But to see the feeling of the lights, you don't need to be in focus. You just need the shape. So going out of focus with my lens, I get the feeling of the holidays to use as a background for a card or send to your friends to put on social media. You get it right away. It feels differently, but all of a sudden you know, okay, this is the shape of a Christmas tree and the lights. So I'll change around, playing around with my focus to go even more out of focus, less out of focus, back and forth to see which one looks better to me. But actually, I actually like both versions because both work. And if you're using it for a background or part of your page on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, this is actually a great shot that tells that you are in the holiday spirit. So think about this as you shoot, not just shooting everything in total focus, because today all cameras can do that. Every smartphone does that, but it can't do this. It can't go out of focus. And that's kind of cool to be able to take a real camera and have total control of your lens and what's in focus and when you want to go out of focus. I love also playing around with fast lenses and focusing on people. Like in this situation, I'm focusing on these two women together and letting everything else go out of focus. So you get the feeling of two people coming together and celebrating the moment as you see everything else fall out of focus. You do need fast lenses for this. This is dark, it's nighttime, so I'm going to shoot at 1.2, 1.4 super fast lenses outside at night. Kind of cool. So here's an example of an image where the lights are in focus and the lights are out of focus. Which one's better? It's totally up to you. It's subjective. I think both work depending on what you want to do. But this is really powerful when you are doing it your way and using it any way you want to on your social media, on cards, or whatever. People get the idea. Let's go further with this. Now, I also like, this is two different pictures where I can focus on one element of lights and the other lights go totally out of focus. Again, I'm shooting at a very shallow depth of field. So I focus just on the first tree to get all the lights in sharp focus, let the others go out of focus, and the people in the background go out of focus as well. A great way to focus and still have this feeling of your picture feeling like the holidays. I also like looking for reflections during the holidays. So be aware if you're shooting at night and it's just rained on the street, look at that. The reflection of lights on the street are wonderful when there's a wet pavement or anything that feels like a beautiful reflection. That works also for great holiday pictures. So don't just think about that one scene, think about everything. This is Tokyo, Japan, and this is the walkway going into Yoyogi Park from walking from Shibuya, the main part of Tokyo, into Yoyogi Park, which is another beautiful park here in Japan. A wonderful spot to be. Now, if you have questions, I definitely want to hear those. We're talking today about capturing holiday lights throughout the year, how you do this, how you're shooting in low light situations. This is a low light situation, outdoors shooting lights. But maybe you have questions about this or other things. This is the time I want to take your questions and see what you're feeling about photography. Let's go and take your questions. I do love seeing you guys here. Denise, how you doing? Rox, how you doing? Good seeing that. I've heard at least one thing in focus. That's kind of cool. Having one thing in focus does make a difference versus everything being out of focus. But there is no right or wrong. You decide what works best for you. So play around, experiment, turn the focus off on your camera. If you've never done that before, turn it off, go manually, and see how you like the image to look. You'll be surprised on what you get. Let's see what we have. Other questions coming through here. What color balance do I use? I do like playing around with color balance. For those images, I was using it on just auto white balance. But there are times when I'll play around with my color balance as well. Thanks, Rox, for asking this question. So sometimes I'll put it on tungsten, 3200 Kelvin, to go the opposite and play around with what that looks like versus the actual real color. Play around and experiment with your color balance as well. You'll have a lot of fun during the holidays with lights, playing around with color balance versus what you get automatically. Now, remember, on a smartphone, you get what you get. But on a traditional camera, you can play around and take control. And this is how your pictures really start to stand out from everything else that's out there in the world of social media, taking with smartphones out there. So get your cameras out, play around, break the rules. This is how you really thrive in photography. Do something different. I do love seeing you guys' comments here, so make sure you let me know how you're feeling about all this and so much more. This is the holiday season, so I'll make all my live posts coming up this month all about the holidays and so much more. So stay tuned for a lot more. Again, thank you for your time here today. I love sharing just a little bit about photography, a little bit about life in Tokyo, and of course, giving you a bit of lessons on photography. Good seeing you all here. I want to wish you all a wonderful, happy holidays, whether you celebrate Christmas or not. Merry Christmas for those who do. Happy holidays for everyone else. Happy New Year, all that stuff as we end 2023. Time for more of my green tea. I also want to invite all of you to my upcoming webinar, which will take place on Friday, East Coast time. You can get there by just going to photographylightingwebinars.com. So meet me there because I'm going to do a really extensive training on photography focused on lighting this coming Friday, East Coast time. So depending on where you are in the world, jump on in, go to photographylightingwebinars.com. Join there to find out more about lighting, photography, and more. If you want to go further than that and go deeper into learning about photography, I want to invite you to my actual course. This is where you get to really take your photography to that next level. Let me just go through and make sure you can get there. My course is called Photography Lighting Course, and this is for photographers who really want to step up their game no matter where you are in photography. You can get there by just going here to photography lighting course, or just use your phone and follow that QR code, take you right there, and signing up to be a part of our family, of our community of photographers from around the world who are all growing together to get better at their craft. We have a live training session every week for 1 hour. And this is beyond just the course. The course is online. You take that 24/7 wherever you are, but you also get with the course access to live training that happens every week. We meet every week for 1 hour to train and make you better at your craft, that which you love, photography and photography lighting. Look forward to seeing you in the course, because we grow a lot and we want to grow a lot in the next coming year for sure. Thank you all for your time. It's good having you here as always. I'll say goodbye for now, but love having you guys here. Love all your questions, and please keep coming back. I'll see you soon. Be well, everyone. Take care. Bye.